Hey, good morning, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K. So let's read this. This is Xbox news for Koreans. This is a message from Asha Sharma to the Xbox news for Koreans. So this is legit. It's verified. Okay, it's not some like bogus, fake, phony Twitter feed. This is verified. That's why you need that blue check mark to be verified. That's the one thing I like about the Twitter X. You have to be verified, and if you're verified, well, they know that you are real, that you're not fake. But anyway, this is legit. This is real. So this is a message from Asha Sharma on the Xbox News for Koreans. So let me take a sip of coffee, and then we'll read this. And after I finish reading it, I will give you my honest opinion. This is just fresh. Okay, it just came out recently. Well, it came out on April 16th. Well, it's recent. It's recent. All right. This is from Asha Sharma. All right, Asha Sharma. It's clear that our ambitions require deeper investment in the Xbox platform foundations than we made before. Today, we operate across dozens of surfaces, pipelines, and release models without a shared code repository or common data foundation. As a result, quality and speed too often depends on heroics instead of systems. What? Anyway, we also lack consistent infrastructure for experimentation, attribution, and learning, making it harder to know what's working and improve quickly. On the product side, our front end is set of experiences, but at a different times, where discovery, relevance, and social are not first class, and players have to work to find what to do next or who play with. All right, so there's so much to unpack here. It's more of like an innuendo. Okay, the way she wrote this message, it's not like she's talking to like in a layman terms, like, she's not talking to you like you're like a 6 years old or 7 years old or a 10-year old. She's talking to you like you are like a professor who has to decipher this message and decode this message. Well, yours truly is going to decode and decipher this message. There's so much here to unpack. All right, so let's first start is with this paragraph right here. It's clear that our ambitions require deeper investment in the Xbox platform foundation than what we made before. So what she's talking about here, she's talking about the fact that what we did before did not work, and we missed out a bunch of missed opportunities. And this is true. What she just said here, it's absolutely true. Look, no disrespect to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer saved the Xbox. But as much as I love Phil, as much as I respect him, what he has brought us with the Game Pass and the value with the Game Pass, there was also a lot of missed opportunities. There was a lot of mixed messages. There was too much of can't make a decision. What do we want to do? We want to go this way or we're going to go that way. There was too much of that going on, too much flip-flopping, too much uncertainty, too many broken promises, right? And missed opportunities. And we already talked about the missed opportunities that the Xbox had, and they just missed out on it. One of them is virtual reality. I mean, look at PlayStation VR 2. They have Microsoft Flight Simulator on VR. Okay. Not to mention that they're getting all of these Xbox games. Now they recently got Starfield, and Starfield is selling like crazy. Look, missed opportunities from Phil Spencer. I have to address the elephant. And again, no disrespect to Phil Spencer. I respect the man. I think I'm on his friends list. I respect the guy. I respect the man. And what he has done with the Xbox since 2013, he saved Don't forget, guys, in 2013, Xbox was on the verge of going down the Dreamcast, Sega Dreamcast route. Phil Spencer saved it, okay? So we got to give the credit for him for that, what he has done with the Xbox in the past 12 years, okay? We can't, I don't think anyone will disagree with that. And I don't think anyone will disagree with that. But we also have to acknowledge the negatives. The negatives of him giving us flip-flop messages, mixed messages, uncertainty. There's so much of he says one thing and does the other, and then he broken promises. That's then you lose credibility. When you start giving people promises that you don't deliver on those promises, that's when people start questioning. So anyway, this is what she's saying on that paragraph. It's clear that our ambitions require deeper investment in the Xbox platform foundations than we made before. So what she's basically saying is we need to have a clear vision. And I don't want to sound like Arnold. You need a clear vision. But he's right. You do need a clear vision. It is true. You might laugh about it, the clear vision. But it's true. Look at Arnold. You have to know where you're going, dude. You can't be just all over the place. What are you trying to achieve? What is the goal here? What's the strategy here? What are we doing? Where are we going? What's our journey? What are we trying to accomplish? What is the goal here? What are we trying to accomplish here? What is our goal? And if you don't know what are you trying to accomplish, if you don't know what your goal is and where you need to go, then you're stuck in some sort of a circle, circling the drain. You're just going in a circle, circling the drain. That's what you're doing. So that's what she's talking about. So we need to have a clear vision as to where we want to go. What are we all about? You can be all about everything. You can say Xbox is everything. Xbox is this. Xbox is my toilet. Xbox is my microwave. Xbox is my fridge. No. You need to know what is Xbox all about. We knew what PlayStation was all about. It's all about the greatness awaits. It's about the exclusives. One of the reasons why PlayStation was always so successful was because of the exclusives. And now they're lacking on that. All right, all you, my beloved Sony ponies, relax. Okay, but I have to be honest. Sony's not doing too hot either. They need to start delivering on some exclusives, all right? How long do we have to wait for this Wolverine? Is it coming this year? I'm sick and tired of the Returnal sequels. In 5 years, all we got was Returnal. Come on, man. All right, so don't get too, get off your high horse, all you Sony ponies. Get off your high horse. Relax. You're not all too hot either, all right? And especially with a $900 console. It ain't looking too hot. So, we used to know what PlayStation 4 was all about. It was about the exclusives, and people didn't mind buying it. We knew what the Xbox 360 was all about, but something fundamentally changed in 2013 with the Xbox. They want to go television with this Kinect, use your hands with a Kinect, move around with your hands, right? And nobody asked for the Kinect. Nobody really cared about using hands with the Kinect. They were trying to give us something that we didn't want. We didn't want a cable box, DVR, TiVo. No one's asked for TiVo. Look, if I want a cable, I'm going to buy a cable. I'm going to go to my nearest, Xfinity, and ask them, hey, give me a cable box. I want a subscription. And I'll have all the channels, everything. Yes, I'll have to pay whatever I have to pay. But you know what? If that's what I want, I'll just go to the Comcast Xfinity and get myself a cable box, and I have all the channels, dude. Watch whatever I want to watch. Okay? So, this all started, and the reason I'm telling you this, because I need you, my Xbox, not bots, my Xbox dear fanboys, to understand this. This whole crap started in 2013. If you want to know how we got to this point, you need to go back in the past from the beginning to understand where we are right now. You guys need to go back to where it all started. And where did it all started? It started in 2013 with this whole crap about the Xbox One, Kinect, and television, watch movies, TV shows. No, I want to play the damn video games. So it all started there. Okay? Now, Phil Spencer came in. He saved it. Thank God that he came in at the time to save it. But even he went into this different journey of no red lines and we want to put our games everywhere. Yeah, but Phil, you keep forgetting, Phil. What made the Xbox, it was only on Xbox, the exclusivity. How many times do we have to say this? How many times do we have to sing this song? I've been singing this song forever. Since the dawn of humankind, I've been singing this song. What's so special about consoles? Exclusivity. Why Nintendo Switch, it's still relevant? Because they have all these exclusives. Okay, if I want to play Super Mario, I have to play it on Nintendo Switch 2. If I want to play Zelda, I have to play it on Nintendo Switch 2. If I want to play Mario Kart, I have to play it on Nintendo Switch 2. All of these Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo exclusives, I can only play, like a Pokemon, I can only play on Nintendo Switch 2. Exclusives matter, and this is why Nintendo has been around for 40 plus years. Because they understood exclusivity is the key ingredient. And Xbox in 2013 totally divorced from that. This is all because of bad decision making, okay? And I think that's what she's trying to tell us. Not directly, but indirectly through innuendo. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to decipher. I'm trying to decode these innuendo messages. All right, let's continue. I'm sorry I'm a little bit hyper because of caffeine, but I'm trying to come across a point here. I'm trying to give you the point. How we got to this point, where we are right now, and what was the cause of it. And we have to go back to 2013. Because prior to 2013, Xbox 360 was kicking ass. 360 was making PlayStation 3 scared. Yes, even PlayStation 3 was scared. Yeah, this is true. Xbox 360 was dominating. Dominating. I'm sorry, but PlayStation 3, as much as I love you, you lost that fight. Xbox 360 won that fight. Even with the Red Ring of Death, with the Peter Moore, Xbox 360 was ruling, dude. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. I know some of you PlayStation fans don't want to hear this, but that's a fact. I know later on they have some revision on PlayStation 3 Slim. They cut the price down to $300. But dude, how much was the PlayStation 3? That's right, $600. It was super expensive. Now how much was the Xbox 360? $300. Hey man, come on now. But those were the good days. Even the original Xbox, those were the good days. But in 2013, that's where the whole thing started. And that's why now we're in this mess for 12 years. And now Asha Sharma has to come in here and clean up this mess. And it'll take time to clean up this mess. But hey, it's better late than ever. Okay? So let's read this whole thing. Again, today we operate across dozens of surfaces, pipelines, and release models without a shared code, repository, or common data foundation. As a result, quality and speed too often depends on heroics instead of systems. So what is she trying to say here? What she's trying to say is that we operate across very many different surfaces and pipelines. Like, okay, we are releasing our games on the PlayStation. People can play Starfield on the PlayStation. They can play it on the cloud. They can play it on the PC. And there's too much of like uncertainty as to what we are all about. Are we a brand as a console, or are we a publisher? That's essentially what she's saying here. What are we? Are we a console brand, or are we a publisher? If we're the publisher, then let's just be a publisher. Then we don't need to create a console. then what's the point of a console, right? If we're just going to be publishing games to whoever wants it, to PlayStation, to whoever, right? Then we're just a publisher. And also, she says, we also lack consistency infrastructure for experimentation, attribution, and learning, making it harder to know what's working and improve quickly. So what is she saying here? That we're lacking consistent infrastructure for experimentation. Missed opportunities. This is what I was talking about. Missed opportunities. Remember, I said, how come Xbox doesn't have virtual reality headset? And what boggles my mind, they even have a Windows mixed reality, which I believe is still there, Windows mixed reality. So you already have a platform called Windows mixed reality, and you have Samsung Odyssey. I have two of those actually, VR headsets. But yet, you're not creating a VR for an Xbox console. Why is that? Why? Why not experiment with that? Look, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Cool. Whatever. Then you move on to something else. So she's saying we also need to do some experimentation to see what works, what doesn't work. It's like when you're creating a YouTube channel. People always ask me, you've been doing this for 12 years. And it's true. I have been creating content for 12 years. Okay. And after 12 years of creating content, people always ask me, now that you have 50,000 subscribers and so many millions of views, a lifetime millions and millions of views, what worked and what didn't work? Well, there is no like a golden recipe or a golden strategy. Okay, it's basically experimentation. You have to experiment. You have to throw everything on the wall and see what sticks, what doesn't stick, what people like, what people don't like, and just stick to what people like. And when people get tired of that, and they don't want to watch that, then you go experiment with something else and see what do they like now. So it's a constant experimentation that you have to do. Because people change. You have new audience, you have old audience, they leave. You got the new audience, and the new audience, they want something else. And then you got to find out what is it that they like. You know what I mean? What makes them excited? What do they like? So that's what she's saying. We need to figure out the different... we need to experiment with what we want to create. And that's what I did with my YouTube channel. I've been doing this for 12 years. It took me a while to get to... Even right now, I still don't know what people like, what people don't like. Apparently, people like my Microsoft Flight Simulator, PlayStation VR 2. But I don't know how long is that going to last. Maybe they'll get tired of play. Maybe right now it's hot because it just recently was released. But maybe after a couple of months, maybe they'll get tired of PlayStation VR 2. They won't even care anymore. So maybe they'll want to see something else. So then I'll have to experiment. Maybe work on something else, like maybe Forza Horizon 6 or James Bond video game or what have you, right? So that's what she's saying here. Okay, so let's see what works, what doesn't work. Let's throw our cards on the table. Let's see what kind of cards we've been dealt, and let's experiment. Let's throw some stuff on the wall. Let's see what sticks, what doesn't stick. And I like her mindset. Everything she's saying here is pretty much what I agree on, okay? I'm just trying to decipher so you guys understand the innuendo. And then it says, on the product side, our front end, it's set of experiences built at different times. What does this mean? This means that our product side or front end is set of experiences built at different times. That means that we need to stick to what people want now. And what people want now is what they always wanted, exclusivity. Okay? And then she also says, where discovery, relevance, and socials are not first class, and players have to work to find what to do next, who to play with. So she's saying basically, we need to figure out how to create a strong Xbox community. And how do you do that? You do that through what the Peter Moore has done with the Xbox 360 and the Xbox Live. That's one of the unique core features of the Xbox 360 is what the Peter Moore was able to do back then in 2007, 2008 to bring players together with Halo and Gears and all these other games with this amazing Xbox Live dashboard experience. You put on a headset, you can talk to whoever you want to talk to. It was a joy to be on the Xbox 360 Xbox Live experience. So that's what she's saying. We need to figure out this core new principle of how to attract people to really be excited for the Xbox. And right now we don't have that. That's what she's saying. We don't have that right now. And she's speaking to the Koreans, Xbox news for the Koreans. And right now we don't have that. Right now we're in this limbo of Xbox is this, Xbox is that. You know, Xbox is your microwave. Xbox is your toilet. Xbox is everything. No. Then it loses the purpose of the brand as a console. When you start telling me that I can play Starfield on a PlayStation, your Xbox just lost a value. So what's the point of this console? I don't need it. If I can play your Xbox games on a PlayStation, what do I need your Xbox for? If I can play, you know, your games on a PC, on a very powerful PC, or on a handheld, on the cloud, what's the point of this console? You need to have a reason for why this console exists. And what's the one reason? And that one reason is exclusivity. I don't know why this is so difficult, and why was this so difficult for Phil Spencer to understand. Dude, if it ain't, this was his mistake. And I don't know who was whispering in his ear, who was giving him this advice, who was whispering in his ear. Whoever was whispering in your ear, Phil Spencer, they were wrong. And that's why you're not here anymore. And that's why she's here. Okay? So whoever was whispering to your ears was whispering the wrong things. They were not whispering the positive, good things. They were all wrong things, and I don't know how you did not see that. I don't know how Phil Spencer did not see the bigger picture. So what's the bigger picture? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Peter Moore will tell you this, and he was very successful. Peter Moore was very successful with the Xbox 360. If it ain't broke, why fix it? What does that mean? All right. What's it all about? What's the whole point of a console? What is it? I can't hear you. Come on, guys. What is it all about? Yes, you got it right. Exclusivity. Exclusivity. It's all about the exclusivity. That's what it's all about. Okay? So if it ain't broke, why fix it? You have to understand, and she understands that. What makes people buy the console, it's not so much the price tag. People paid $600 for PlayStation 3. And this is way back then in 2007, or is it 2006? They paid $600 for that PlayStation 3. But they didn't care because there were exclusives that they wanted to play. It's not so much how much do I have to pay for the product. People are not cheap. It's not about the price. It's about the value. What value are you giving me with this price tag for this console? And if you can't tell me what the value is, well, then I'm not giving you my money. So that's what the Xbox needs to do. They need to go back to only on Xbox. Exclusivity. I've been preaching this forever. Since the dawn of humankind, I've been preaching this. This is nothing, to figure out. It's not a rocket science. Okay, we're not going to Mars to land on Mars and walk around the Mars. Okay, this is not a rocket science. It's simple. It's simple. Exclusivity, that's it. Just stick to the exclusivity. That's all you need to do. Only on Xbox. That's it. Same thing with PlayStation. Only on PlayStation. That's it. Exclusivity. Learn from Nintendo. Why Nintendo is still around? Because Nintendo figured this out a long time ago in the early 80s. In the early 80s, Nintendo figured this out. It's all about the exclusives. Not all this nonsense of no red lines, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I want my games to be everywhere. All right, well, then you're a publisher. I'm sorry, Phil Spencer, but then you're a publisher. Then you're not a console brand. You are a publisher. So you have to make a decision. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a publisher? or do you want to be a consul? If you want to be a consul, then you need to have a reason why people should pay that hard-earned cash to purchase this console. And exclusivity is the best way to attract people to buy a console. Exclusive games. So anyway, I already spent 25 minutes trying to dissect this and explain to you what she was saying. So everything that she's saying here, I agree. And I'm really excited about her role as a new CEO, and we'll see what happens. It looks like she's a shaker and a mover, and that's a good thing. And I think that's what Xbox really needed. Xbox really needed some fresh new face like her to be a shaker and a mover. And let's see what happens, okay? I don't have a crystal ball, you know what I mean? I'll believe it when I see it. These are just words. Words are just words, okay? Yes, they sound nice on a paper, or in this case, on this Truth Social, Twitter, X. But until I see it, I won't believe it. Okay, but let's give her some time. Let's wait. And, like I said, we'll see what she does by the end of this year and beginning of next year, especially next summer, 2027. I think by next summer, 2027, we'll know exactly what she has accomplished and where we are. But this is exciting, and I agree with everything that she's saying. She's really speaking all the things that we want, and now we just have to wait and see what happens. If this is going to come to fruition, okay, and we'll see. But yeah, I agree with everything that she just said, absolutely. All right, well, there you have it, guys. I know it's 27 minutes, but because there's so much I have to dissect here, because the whole thing was written like in a innuendo for me to dissect. So that's the video. Thank you for watching. This is what I think. Like I said, I'm happy about her message to the Xbox News for the Koreans. I like her message here, and I agree. I agree. Oh, and let me give it a like. Hold on. Let me give it a like. There it is. Now we got 216. There we go. There we go. Thumbnail. There we go. It'll be a thumbnail. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Please make sure to subscribe and share and watch my other videos that I have. I have so many videos, daily content, every day, live streams. Man, plenty of content, plenty of entertainment, plenty of videos for you to watch. Trust me, you will not be bored with my channel. I think you will find something that you will enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.